In all those years
Yeah.
of mixtapes and doing all this other stuff, what was the most gangster shit you ever did?
Most gangster shit I
The
ever
most
did?
gangster shit that you ever did.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Because we no, because we know hip hop. It gets crazy sometimes. What's that? Phones?
Phone.
Yeah. Well, what would you say is the most gangster shit that you ever did?
I'll put it like this. I had a near-death situation. I had a home invasion situation happen to me.
Right.
When I walked out of that room, I thought I'd killed the dude who had basically attacked me. You know what I mean? I thought I walked out with a corpse in the room.
Wait. Because you just skipped a whole lot of details.
Yeah, like.
Well, I'm not going to go into a lot of details.
But you're in the house chilling.
I'm in the house chilling, and a home invasion happens.
Right.
Right, over the girl that I was with. Right?
So it was about the girl?
It was about
Was
the
she
girl.
bad? Was she bad?
Super bad.
Super bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was an
It'd
ex-boyfriend.
be like that.
It was an ex-boyfriend home
Oh, there you
invasion.
Was he Spanish?
No.
Oh shit. That's a shocker. No offense. No offense.
No offense.
No offense, but that's a shocker.
But to make a long story short, I walked out of there thinking that I'd killed the dude that basically attacked me.
Wow.
And I remember at that point in my life, you know, I'd been altercations, I'd been fights, I won some, I lost some, whatever, you know, but I was never really, like, there was always like a base level fear, I think, in terms of how I dealt with people. And that moment, I think I lost all my fear because I felt I kind of looked death in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was really like I thought I was going to die that night. Like,
So he had weapons too?
It's a whole long story.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a whole fucked up.
So you was calling the
story.
shootout then?
I mean, I thought I killed him, and
Wow.
the thing about, he ended up surviving, but the thing of it was, for a good couple hours, I'm like, okay, this is what killing someone feels like, and I'm okay with this, like in a self-defense situation. It doesn't bother me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, from here, I'm like, from this point on, no one's gonna tell me what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like, you know what I mean? No one's gonna back me down, no one's gonna intimidate me, no one's gonna punk me, like, no one's gonna scare me. Not to say that I'm a tough guy of any sort. Like, my goal in life is to not get into any physical altercations for the rest of my life.
Right.
That's been my persona, like my thought pattern for a while. This is why I have security and so forth. But like, I'm just not gonna let another man tell me what I'm gonna do, or woman for that matter. Like, they're not gonna tell me what to do out of fear or intimidation. And I think that is what allowed VLADTV to be what it was. Because I think that a lot of people in general are scared. Like, you know what I mean? They're worried if someone talks tough to them on the phone, or they threaten them, or they some gang shit, or it's like, yo, like, you know, I'm gonna green light you, or, you know, I'm gonna make it hard for you, whatever. And my thing has always been like, whatever. You know, you're gonna do what you're gonna do, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, but I'm also got a job to do.
Right.
And I think that was like the turning point. And I think that VLADTV has been on that trajectory of like, we have our own game plan. It's not about what you want.
Right.
It's not about any outside forces.
Right.
And that I think answers your question pretty much.
There's no favoritism.
No. And there's no like extortion. There's no like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, when you talked about like, like the source situation in Benzino is sort of like, and Dave even talked about it in an interview that we did on our platform, was like, Dave liked having like the street presence of a Benzino around to handle certain situations and everything else like that.
But there's a price to pay.
There's a price to pay for that. You know what I mean? Like that also ended up hurting the source, because now you got this dude who has his own ideas and his own agenda and so forth. Where would the source be bigger than VLADTV right now if it was just Dave Mays? You know? Would it never gotten sold and, and so forth? Who knows? But we'll never know because
Of
you
what
brought
happened.
in people, and I think there's probably a certain level of fear that Dave had, and and Benzino was like, "Yo, I got this."
I believe that.
Yeah,
I definitely believe that.
And we touched on this in our
But he would
interviews.
never admit that.
I mean, is there a way to
You feel me?
balance street and corporate though? Especially in this hip hop.
There's definitely a way to balance. I mean,
I think that's really.
I think there's a way to balance it, but not when you have partners that are in the street like that.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Who are still want to remain in the street. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Biggs was in the street, but once he joined Rockefeller, like,
was
he's done with that.
Right.
Like, you don't hear Biggs doing anything stupid. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
No, it doesn't balance because the rules are different. What you consider fair and just in the world of business is non-existent. You have to get rid of the word. You have to get rid of the word fair.
yeah.
You did me dirty. No, I followed the contract.
Right.
Yeah, but you did me dirty. No, I followed the contract.
right.
Yeah, but you cut my throat. You signed the contract. I didn't make you sign it. You signed it.
Contracts are not in the streets.
They don't exist.
We don't care about
But
contracts.
it's
We don't
only-
care about
in the
contracts.
streets
That's
is-
why I said, is there a
We don't care
balance?
about contracts.
because in the
it's right and
streets-
wrong.
it's-
what
yeah,
I believe
exactly.
get versus what you believe.
Right, which is
And,
which
you
is
know,
chaos.
And that depends on what
Exactly.
you can. That
Chaos.
depends on what.
It's chaos,
That depends on
right?
what you can enforce.
Right.
That
Now-
depends on what you
now,
can
in the
enforce.
situation that you were talking about before the show started, like what was that?
As far as
When the whole Eminem Benzino thing was going on, because I got stories of my own, but what was the environment? You were working at the source.
when the Eminem thing popped up,
Yeah.
it was tense. It was tense because I could sit here and describe a situation that sounds wild, but to be honest, everyone who works a 9 to 5 goes through the exact same thing, and that is your financial stability and your livelihood and what you're able to do for your family and people around you
Right.
are now in the hands of someone else.
Right.
And you have to hope that that person is stable. If your boss has a wild day or has a bad day and decides to make some crazy moves and puts all your shit in jeopardy, it just so happens that at the time, my boss was a public figure.
Right.
The people who I worked for directly were both public figures, and if they had bad days, it made the news. So now everybody knows that my company itself is having a bad day thanks to the guy at the top losing his shit or being pissed off or holding a grudge or not being professional but being more street.
Right.
But to go back to what he said with Biggs actually ended up going to jail because of the street elements. You know what I mean? It's tricky.
Well,
Yeah.
we talked about that situation on the interview.
Okay.
The whole weed thing.
Right.
What Biggs did was there was a dude that was growing some weed and a dude that wanted to buy some weed, so he was just doing a favor and just got them on the phone together, not knowing one of them was working with the feds. So now he's tied into a conspiracy. But Biggs himself wasn't really growing the weed or trying to push it. It was just you trying to help out your friends.
And then
Next thing you know, you're in jail.
Yeah.
Getting caught
And
up
that
in
could be anybody.
Yeah, and I don't think that's Biggs getting back in the streets.
I don't think
you know
that-
what I mean.
but
I
you
think
know,
it's
the
just,
element
but
of-
nobody heard that part. I don't think.
No,
There
I
are
mean,
not
but you
many
know,
people that know that.
the element of would Vlad do that same favor? You get what I'm saying?
I might do that favor.
I might do that. I might do that
You think
favor. Yeah.
At the trajectory you are at right now?
I mean, right now, no. I
Yeah, see,
won't
you
touch
don't-
it. But you know what I mean. But like,
But if anybody is trying to buy anything and the feds are interested in it, it really doesn't, it could be anything. You could be, hey, listen, my man is selling a car. You said you want to buy a car here. You find out the car is stolen.
yeah,
Like that could be anything. You could just
Right.
be connecting the dots.
and you
That could
just
be
get
anything.
caught up in the middle.
Right.
right.
But because you're the public figure, you're gonna make the headline.
Of course.
It's hot for trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work you heard. Making fiends leave earth you heard. Got your baby mama thirst you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf you heard.